So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be doing another compilation video. Off the top of my head, I don't know what number we're on, but I'm glad that this series always does well because I love putting trending topics into one video and being able to discuss a range of things. So on the docket tonight, we have Simone Biles being called out for having nappy edges in her wedding photos. This is crazy because this isn't the first time that Simone Biles and her hair texture has been discussed, let alone made some type of public discourse on the internet. Next, we have Kylie Jenner blatantly lying about plastic surgery and somewhat deflecting from the fact that she's 25 years old and looks very aged due to the fact that she's no stranger to face and body enhancements. And then lastly, we have Meg Thee Stallion finally speaking out for the first time since her court case between her ex-best friend Kelsey Harris, and her perpetrator Tory Lanez. Meg has been pretty low-key for the longest, so it's interesting to see her finally make a comment in regards to that situation. So y'all know how we do it. You can label your comments in the comment section down below based on the story number 1, story number 2, and story number 3, so we can stay organized. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So our first story is about Meg Thee Stallion finally speaking out after her tumultuous, long, and very publicly scrutinized lawsuit in regards to her and R&B artist / rapper Tory Lanez. Now this case to me will go down in history just because of how public it was, the people involved, and also the fact that the general public was super opinionated about everything. And I am even a part of the general public. I spoke on the case from day one, and I've always been in favor of Megan. I never once thought that she was lying, but I definitely thought that she wasn't all the way innocent in everything that happened leading up to this very unfortunate circumstance. I think as a young person, it truly was a learning lesson, not just for Meg Thee Stallion, but for everybody watching, because it goes to show that not only can accidents, let alone intentional actions, happen in a split second, but also being too mixy and not giving yourself an adequate effort in monitoring who you surround yourself with is also a huge lesson. So we all know what happened. In July 2020, Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, and Meg's friend Kelsey Harris were all riding in a car after a party at Kylie Jenner's house. An argument ensued, people were fighting, shots went off, Megan was hit, and then the confusion behind what happened, who did it, what were the circumstances, who was guilty, who was honest, who was innocent, who deserves jail time, and who shot the gun. All of these different questions started coming out of everywhere. And I think contrary to what people expect, I think it's fine that people really did discuss the case. Of course, there's that underlying aspect of it re-aggravating somebody else's trauma, causing further victim shaming on somebody, and also inflicting controversy within the whole entire controversy. But I still think that there were a lot of people who were genuinely interested and just wanted a straight cut story. And all of the characters within this situation made it very difficult for the general public to solely believe one thing versus another. Flat out, this story has so many moving pieces. Overall, what I think is constant is that Megan Thee Stallion was a victim here. She clearly was injured, regardless of who people think did it to her and how it happened. She was injured nonetheless, and that is the most important part of this. I'm happy that Megan didn't lose her life. I'm happy that she's here to speak today on it. I mean, in most cases, a lot of women don't report violence or abuse, especially when it's dealing with famous or well-known people and celebrities. I know she talked about initially not wanting to go to the police, but almost having her hand being forced to, because instead of Tory Lanez and even her friend Kelsey Harris to just let everything simmer down or at least repent for whatever part everybody played, it seemed to me that Tory Lanez kept teasing about the situation, kept mocking it, and now he's sitting in jail probably wishing that he didn't say anything and put out those records that he did. I also feel like Megan may also regret putting out her records as well. Like I said, I'm happy Megan Thee Stallion is alive, and after all of this nonsense, she has finally spoken out. So in an interview with Elle magazine, Megan details how she's been feeling and healing after the incident with Tory Lanez and following the trial. Here's what she had to say. I'm choosing to change the narrative because I'm more than just my trauma. I don't want to call myself a victim. As I reflect on the past 3 years, I view myself as a survivor because I have truly survived the unimaginable. Not only did I survive being shot by someone I trusted and considered a close friend, but I overcame the public humiliation of having my name and reputation dragged through the mud by that individual for the entire world to see. For years, my attacker laughed and joked about my trauma. For years, my attacker peddled false narratives about what happened on the night of July 12, 2020. For years, my attacker tried to leverage social media to take away my power. Imagine how it feels to be called a liar every day, especially from a person who was once a part of your inner circle. When I was younger, my parents warned me about being too trusting. My daddy used to say, just because somebody smiles in your face doesn't mean they're really down for you. My parents emphasized the importance of protecting my spirit, but even as I went to school every day, I naively believed that everyone came with pure intentions intentions and wanted to be my friend. Over the years, I realized that certain people didn't need a logical reason to be hateful or mean, but my sympathetic side still wanted to give others the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, it took until this devastating experience for me to fully grasp the magnitude of my parents' message back then. So what I think Meg had to say was a good message. It is completely important to not be too trusting, and I feel like a lot of us don't even learn that lesson until we get older. I think what happened to Meg Thee Stallion is that she rose to fame pretty rapidly. I wouldn't say it was super fast, but once she got on, she kept getting bigger, faster. And she was exposed to a lot of different people. She was the next big thing. And I think her artist rollout was definitely one of the best of the decade. Because of that, she was very mixy with a lot of different people who she either didn't know their backgrounds or she just completely disregarded what type of people they were because she's in the industry now. Now, I will say, I think everyone is just about tired of the story. So I will assume that this is the end of it, or at least the last time that I will hear about it in this capacity, unless there's new evidence or a new piece to the case. I just wish Meg Thee Stallion peace. Whether you believe her or not, whether or not you doubt her and the entire situation, whether you think she is being truthful and factual about everything she said happened to her, I wish her peace. I just hope that there's no more massive trauma inflicted onto her because she did lose both of her parents. She seems to be in a lot of legal lawsuits dealing with music or personal issues. So at this time, I hope that she just reaches a place of serenity and all of this can just be in the past. So up next is a story about Kylie Jenner basically deflecting and addressing rumors about what enhancements she has and how she feels about herself. So according to the blog Hollywood Unlocked, the headline says, Kylie Jenner shuts down rumors that she got a lot of plastic surgery done. I think a big misconception about me is that I've had so much surgery on my face. Kylie Jenner took time to address rumors that she got lip fillers because she was so unhappy with her appearance. I think a big misconception about me is that I've had so much surgery on my face and that I was some insecure person, and I really wasn't. Kylie said during an interview with Homegirls, yeah, I love full lips and wanted full lips, but like growing up, I was just always the most confident person in the room. I was the girl performing for everyone. The reality star then went on to say how she doesn't regret her decisions. I had my one lip insecurity thing, so I got lip filler, and it was the best thing I've ever done. I don't regret it, but I always thought I was cute. She also spoke about when her daughter Stormi Webster gets older, she would like to pass down the same confidence she had to her. Jenner said she wants Stormi to always remember that she's perfect the way that she is. Be confident, always be confident in yourself. Kylie, girl, good night, okay? Goodbye. Log off, unplug, detach, fall into hibernation because, girl, please. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get why the Kardashians are like this. The gig is up, ladies. The entire world has caught on to y'all. We probably were bamboozled for a cool decade or so, but we're hip now. The Kardashians have single-handedly influenced the entire generation of women to want to look a certain way. And even if they didn't do that fully, they most definitely normalized the idea of surgical enhancements, nips and tucks, and pretty much the accessibility to change yourself to look perfect. And I say perfect with air quotes because there is no such thing as being perfect or looking perfect. But I think the Kardashian brand is truly an illusion or a fantasy of perfection, and they've sold it to the entire world very well for a very long time. But it's to the point now where nobody cares, nobody is buying it, people are tired. Kylie is trying to alter the definition of what surgery is. People think that if you didn't full-blown get implants or you didn't cut your body open for something, then it's not considered a major plastic surgery or a major surgical enhancement. And of course, I don't think lip filler or Botox is considered surgery, but I think it is still an invasive enhancement and it's still a beauty enhancement. I got microneedling a few years ago and it was the best decision I've ever made. I don't regret it. It made me so much happier, so much more confident to have even skin tone, as well as just clear up dark marks that had been on my face since like high school. So I do get what she means by not being regretful for making the enhancement, and I don't expect her to be because I'm not gonna say she needed it, but she low-key needed it. I'm actually going to be talking about this in an upcoming video, but the Kardashians are definitely aware of what they have done. I'm probably dropping this tomorrow or so, but they just dropped the trailer for their upcoming season of their show on Hulu, and Kylie Jenner basically says to the rest of her sisters that they need to talk about the beauty standards that they have set for the entire world. And it's like, oh, so now y'all want to be aware of your impact and your influence and how unrealistic and also detrimental it has been to the entire society of women. women everywhere. Anybody with a smartphone has seen or been able to witness what the Kardashians have done in regards to women. And of course, I can't blame them 100%, but they do make up a huge capacity of the influence on women's image, women's bodies, body positivity, surgical enhancements, all of those things. And more than likely, it's directly influential to Generation Z and the millennials, because we are the generation that grew up watching this family. But for the most part, everybody's now old enough, wise enough, and also tired of what this family has promoted for over 15 years. Now, I will say this, Kylie Jenner probably didn't have that much surgery on her face because, like I said, lip filler, fox eye lift, facial contouring, it's not really surgery. But I feel like it's one of those defense mechanisms that they're using to detach themselves from plastic surgery. Like, I feel like her and other celebrities definitely try to use certain pervasive verbiage so that they don't look like they lied. But I'm sorry, save it for your piggy bank, because I'm not buying that. I have two eyes. And now that plastic surgery is borderline taboo and people are trying to push the natural wave again, they want to be seen as distant from plastic surgery. I'm not gonna give Kylie Jenner points for acknowledging that she got lip fillers. I think everybody knew that back in 2015 when she got them. I don't really know who she thinks she's fooling. And of course, she's going to tell her daughter to be confident. I mean, most mothers are. But I also feel like with her daughter being half black, whatever insecurities that Kylie had, her daughter probably won't be as affected. Telling your daughter to be confident when you done did, never mind. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing a video about this very soon, but I think the Kardashians are scrambling, and I don't think they're gonna go away, but I definitely think that they have officially fallen off. So the last story on the docket is one that completely grinds my gears. I can't even believe that there is an unrest about the topic of what Simone Biles chose to do with her shoes, her dress, and her hair at her wedding. I repeat, her wedding. Simone Biles is a very well-known, very well-decorated United States gymnast, and she's been an Olympian, a gold medalist, the full 9 yards. She really is that girl. So before I even talk about her hair, there was an article posted by the Instagram page, Images You Won't See on TV, and the headline said, Simone Biles wears $120 wedding dress, $35 shoes to marry Jonathan Owens. And I was like, I can't even believe that this is a headline, because whether the intentions are good or bad, because I mean, it is still the fact, I didn't know that people cared. Like, the dress didn't look like it was $120, the shoes didn't give $35, and we know the girl has money, so I just didn't realize that much focus would be on the price of what she chose to wear to her wedding. Again, her wedding. So one of the comments said, but she's having a formal wedding later and supposedly has 4 gowns that she will wear on that day. Who cares what her outfit costs? We know they can afford anything they like, right? Yes, right. And I feel like the problem is social media for the 50,000th time. The wedding industry has become this multi-million-dollar industry due to social media, and every industry at this point, but specifically the ones that deal with celebration. So weddings, birthday parties, baby showers, bridal showers, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, sweet 16, retirement parties, prom, you name it. Celebratory events have become multi-million-dollar industries because social media wants people to show out and show what they did bigger or better than the next person. Flat out. And that's why this is happening. That's why this conversation has even arisen. People care about the price tag versus the genuine connection of two people, or in other cases, the celebration of said person. Do you really think that it matters the price of what somebody's dress or shoes are to their wedding? As long as I look great and feel confident in what I put on that day, personally, it doesn't matter the price. Now, can people have opinions on the style of the hair or the shoe or the outfit? Of course, that's just human, but they should not care about the price. People think that fashion is money. People think that in order to be fashionable, you literally have to spend a lot of money. And that is such a Generation Z / slightly millennial issue, because once again, it's not that serious. I don't remember caring this much about the price of certain clothes or shoes when I was in elementary school, middle school, and even the majority of high school. But nowadays, even when I look at prom pictures, it's like kids are really going the full 9 just to dress up for celebration. And that's up to the child and his or her parents' wallet and or bank account. But it's like when somebody decides to be normal and spend a reasonable amount of money on something, people look down on it as if there's something wrong with budgeting for anything. And it's crazy when this rhetoric is being presented on people who we know have money. Simone Biles is one of the most decorated gymnasts in the world, regardless of gender. And then her husband, Jonathan Owens, he plays in the NFL and he's been playing in the league for a few years, so I'm pretty sure he's financially straight as well. So how dare us regular people who probably don't even have $500 in our savings account have anything to say about people with money not going overboard for their wedding? And again, again, their wedding. And like that one commenter said, this is probably just her court wedding that she wore it for. She's having a larger wedding later on this year, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna show everybody up with whatever hair, dress, or shoe, let alone the venue that she decides to pay for. Now, moving on to the second half of this, which is the comments that were made about Simone Biles' hair, her edges, and her entire hairstyle. I genuinely scratch my scalp with my index finger when I see Black women in particular comment about the texture of a Black woman's hair, because the way how the narrative seems to be that Black women are in an era where we are fighting for the right to be looked at as well-groomed and professional with our natural hair, as well as not having this internal war about what is good hair and what is bad hair. I hate the term good hair, by the way. And I feel like we've been making a lot of progress with embracing natural hair, not being afraid of it, knowing how to take care of it, and even the invention of more products that cater towards Black or natural hair. So the fact that people were hung up over Simone Biles' hair not being laid or pressed or sleek enough for the ponytail style that she had, I am disappointed. So this all started with a tweet saying, she gonna wear this nappy ass ponytail until she dies down. Then somebody came back and said she could have at least got a lace front for her wedding, like. And then Simone Biles comes back and responds and says, I think they forget I live in Houston, Texas, and I sweat those out soon as we stepped outside for pics. But they can keep complaining, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. As you shouldn't. Like, the hell is wrong with these joints? I'm glad some people came to her defense. There was another commenter that said, another example of Black women perpetuating the scrutiny and judgment of our hair that society created. This also gives hateration and holleration in the dancery. Then somebody comes back and says to her and says, them edges should have been laid. It is her wedding day. This ain't regular hair day. But I wouldn't have said it, but I don't disagree. And then another person came back and said, good job missing the point. Your statement is rooted in white supremacy. There is nothing wrong with her edges. Society told you there was, though. There's nothing unkempt or embarrassing about the texture of her hair. And then another graphic said, wow, Simone is enjoying her life and solidifying her bond. Someone had to zoom in and point out that her edges aren't straight so they could talk trash about her. People can always find something to turn your positive into a negative. Some people would prefer her to be impeccable on the outside while being miserable and angry on the inside. And I agree with all of this. I think it's completely disappointing, to say the least, that this is how some Black women are. And I bet you they don't even have no man. I understand the argument of people thinking that it's your wedding day. Don't you want your hair to be looked at in a more pristine way? And in many cases, that is synonymous with having a slicker hairstyle or something of that nature. But there is a constant attack on Simone Biles about her hair that irritates me. It's like she's always being talked down upon because of what her hair looks like. And I remember back in, I think 2012, they did the same thing to Gabby Douglas, who was the premier Black gymnast for Team USA back then. Instead of conversations to be about her winning gold medals and breaking records, in addition to those conversations, there were so many people that talked about her hair being very thick and being very dense, and the ponytails not being sleek while she was competing. And I couldn't understand that people rather argue and low-key promote the manipulation of Black hair to conform to a Western ideology of what is acceptable, rather than promote natural hair as is. My edges do get coarse or nappy. That's another word I don't like. And they're not always slick. I understand the baby hair epidemic has gotten really big over the last 3 or 4 years within the Black community. I'm not against the baby hairs. I think it's artistic. However, it's not everybody's preference, and it damn sure isn't a requirement for Black hair. When it comes to Black hair, we are essentially manipulating our hair, and we have to press out our edges, then slick it down with a gel, and then try to keep it intact and try to prevent it from reverting. Seems like a hassle to me. And if we're being real, if Simone Biles only spent less than $200 on her entire wedding look, I highly doubt she was gonna go the full 9 yards, press her hair, and make it look a certain way if this is just the first wedding that she's doing. Like, for real. I didn't see pictures with a bridal train and with groomsmen or a certain venue. So to me, this looks like the court wedding, and they just took pictures and the best is yet to come. It's annoying when I hear these types of conversations because I feel like Black women are in some cases soaring ahead of the stereotypes as well as the historic norms that have been set for us, but not even by us in regards to our looks. And then I feel like we have been making a lot of progress, not just from what I see on the internet, but in real life. I just did a fashion show for my alma mater, and I was really impressed with how many girls had their natural hair out. I feel like a lot of women don't even wear extensions, wigs, and weaves as much as they used to. I think the average Black woman who does wear some type of protective style definitely switches between natural, wig, and braids a lot more frequently than before, when it was just wear this wig and wear this sew-in and nobody ever sees your natural hair. All in all, I think it's redonkulous that Simone Biles is being called out once again for her hair. Please leave that woman's edges alone before she snatches yours. Clearly she has a head full of hair. She wears her natural hair out more than anything, and this is her wedding day. At least she got a man. I know I don't even have a boyfriend, so she doing better than me. But I think these conversations are very tasteless, and I hope that the way how Black women like to tell Black women to get on code about things things in regards to black men or whatever, we can also get on code about not coming for another black woman's natural hair. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, go stream my song Ceremony. The link is down below. It is out on all platforms. Run it up for me. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Can't stop me. Brown rice and broccoli, body shot like broccoli. Independent can't drop me. Money just they chop me. My